Tripod fell over. Hello, thank you for joining. Hi, Sadie. Thank you so much for hopping on. Hi, Amber. Thank you for joining. So I haven't showered yet today. I'm actually still planning on doing another workout at some point. I didn't coach CrossFit tomorrow. I actually switched schedules with another coach. So I did work out this morning, but I plan on going for a run because it's getting nice outside. But I was actually honored to be asked to join a live webinar call with Yuri Elkaim yesterday afternoon. Has anybody heard of Dr. Yuri Elkaim, or maybe his New York Times best-selling book right now called The All-Day Fat Burning Diet? This is the book. So if you're familiar, give me some hearts or comment below and let me know. If you're not, I would highly suggest, good, Sadie's familiar with the book. I would highly suggest going and getting it, even if you're not into intermittent fasting, or even like fasting at all. It's perfectly fine. I'm working with clients right now on a carb cycling boot camp where we incorporate intermittent fasting. Great. I'm so glad to hear that. Many of my clients are finding it to be extremely effective. Other clients, it just doesn't work for them, and that's completely fine. We just substitute the fast day with a low calorie day instead. But so on our call with Yuri, so if you're not familiar with Dr. Yuri Elkaim, he's a New York Times bestselling author, and he is a fat loss expert. And yes, the book is incredible. It isn't just a diet and fitness plan to follow. He gives so much valuable information that you can utilize in your everyday life. So I really, really highly recommend it. Or if you just join my boot camp, which starts on April 11th, we're going to follow a lot of the ideals, and I send you an email every single day with valuable content that will help motivate you, help educate you on nutrition as well as fitness, and really get you pumped up and ready for the 3-week program to kickstart your fat loss. But so this morning, I had to check to see, it's 10:30 here on Eastern Standard Time. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I just want to talk about one of the topics that Yuri discussed on our call. He actually discussed intermittent fasting. He talked about why he doesn't promote caffeine consumption and how it affects our adrenal fatigue, and also how he scaled his wellness business. So there are some very interesting topics on the call, but today I want to focus on intermittent fasting. So we're going to discuss a few points here, and I'm just going to go ahead and read my notes from his call because I thought it was very interesting. So Yuri explained that when we are in a fasted state, our body has the energy to go around and recycle garbage inside our body, basically getting rid of the junk and repairing our cells and the processes that need healing inside of our body. So as you know, if you're into fitness, I'm a huge fan of him right now too. He's like one of my nutrition idols right now. If you're into fitness at all, if you exercise, you know that every time you're in the gym, your muscles are breaking down, and they need to be repaired and restored. So it's very important to incorporate a rest day, if not 2, into your weekly fitness schedule. Depending on your activity level, the duration of the workouts, the intensity of your workouts, you may need more than 1 rest day. So that's something to consider as well. But if we're incorporating a fast day into our week, you obviously don't want to be fasting on a very high intensity workout day. So it's very important to coordinate your nutrition schedule with your fitness schedule. People often think that if they don't eat, their body's going to completely fall apart. Society has kind of given us this idea that we need to be eating constantly all day long, every 2 to 3 hours, and that's just not true. Our bodies were built in a Paleolithic time when we had periods of famine and periods of feast. So there were days when our ancestors had no food, and there were days when our ancestors had a lot of food. And, you know, our biologies have not changed since that time. So it's important to think about that and how we were built and made to, you know, eat less on one day, more on another day. And it actually does help our bodies to get rid of fat instead of storing fat. So it doesn't make sense to think that we need to be eating all the time. You know, it might work well for some, but it's not necessary. And it's one of those myths out there that we need to reconsider and, you know, find what really works for your body instead of reading what you see on social media and kind of just following that. So that was my little tip I wanted to give. Yuri is seriously an amazing person, and the fact that he got on a live webinar call with, it was a bunch of my mentorship clients, and he was so down to earth. He tells us his backstory. Really, if you get a chance, actually, you can visit his website for this book. It's called alldayfatburningdiet.com. He has a video right there on his landing page, and he gives a little information about his backstory. So that's great. If you guys have any intermittent fasting questions, comment below now. I can answer them. My clients are loving them. They're seeing so much energy. What we do during my 21-day carb cycling program is we interchange so we have baseline or regular day calories, which is basically a regular macro. Someone is trying to convince me about a high carb, low fat vegan program. Vegans are welcome to join. Actually, Yuri even talks about vegan diets in his book. High carb, low fat vegan program. I wouldn't say that's what I do when I incorporate carb controlled. It sounds like the opposite of everything I know. So here's the deal. When we are having a high carb day, you tend to lower fats on that day, and vice versa. If you're having a high fat day, that will be your lower carb day. Does that make sense? The two are interchangeable. So if you're following regular baseline macros on a day-to-day basis and you kind of like fall off the wagon a little bit and maybe you overeat on carbs during the morning, well, if you cut back on fat a little bit for that day, that's perfectly fine as long as you meet that calorie requirement. So high carb, low fat makes complete sense. I'm not sure exactly what a high carb, low fat diet is. To me, that sounds like you're following high carb, low fat over a long period of time, which I would not recommend. The carb cycling is what is really effective for this program. And the reason being is so that you're not fueling up on glucose, which are the carbohydrates in your diet, over a long period of time and really building up that glucose level in your body and ending up with fat spillover, which then stores in your body. So your body will hold on to any of that excess fat. And oftentimes it just sits around the midsection and that's where we get that extra belly fat that we're trying to get rid of. So when you cycle through these days and have a high carb day with lower fat, and then the next day is maybe a higher fat day with lower carbs, you're avoiding that fat spillover so that your body's not holding on to fat as fat storage. It's actually able to release the fat in your body, kickstart your metabolism, and get you on the right track to reaching those goals. Any other questions before we go? That was a great one. All right, so I recommend the book, All Day Fat Burning Diet by Yuri Elkaim. If you're interested in chatting about any of this, crazyhealthyfit@gmail.com is my email address. I am available 24/7. I'll answer your emails pretty quickly. I'm pretty good with responding. I'm a personable person, so you can tell me your story. We can chat. My website is crazyhealthyfit.com. Thank you. I appreciate the hearts, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.